Revelation 2377. From the 21st of June 1942. Co-workers of the Lord. Love work on the souls of fellow human beings. There is no more valuable service to God than to save the souls of fellow human beings from spiritual death. For then the human being truly serves God because he contributes towards returning to him what has come forth from God. God's love is constantly turned towards his living creations, and for the sake of these creations everything came into being, and God is constantly active for these creations, and his rule and activity only aim for one thing: the return of the spiritual substance which once fell away from him. If the human being strives towards the same goal, of winning back the souls of his fellow human beings for God, he thinks and acts in accordance with God's will, he consciously serves him by submitting himself to divine will and, as it were, is active as his laborer in the work of love. That he thus makes it his life's task to bring erring souls, that is souls which have turned away from God, to him. Then he will serve God in truth, he will carry out his will and accomplish the greatest work of love for his fellow human beings, for he will save them from eternal death, from the state of complete lifelessness and inconceivable torment. A person cannot measure how important and valuable his spiritual cooperation is, how many souls he saves from adversity through his active help. And yet, the thought must spur him on to eager cooperation, to join God's activity of love, to carry out on a small scale, as it were, what is constantly taking place in the great work of creation through the beings of light which are in closest union with God. The divine flow of strength is passed on, his emanation of love, as soon as the human being, driven by love for his fellow human beings, wants to help them. If he gives love to his fellow human being, then God's strength flows over to him and can become effective by awakening love again. And then the human being comes closer to God, his soul longs to return to God. Then the human being has succeeded in winning his fellow human being's soul for God and kept it away from unimaginable suffering. He has accomplished a work of love in full awareness of serving God with it and is therefore a faithful co-worker of the Lord who knows no other goal than to work with God and for God in order to win souls for eternity. Amen.